And so the sun continues its journey through and across our zodiac belt. And it's entering now for the first time an air sign, Gemini. And Gemini in the tarot is represented by the lovers. For the first time from Aries and Taurus, we now have a pairing, two things, not just one. And if we imagine the zodiac signs as parts of the body, we can see that Aries represents the upper brain, the ram's head, the ram's horns, perhaps the hippocampus within the brain. And Taurus represents the cerebellum, the lower brain, and the neck and the shoulders. And as I said before, for the first time, we now enter into duality, two things. We have an air sign, so we have our two lungs and we have our two hands. And here it's represented in our two lovers. This also introduces another idea, and that is the idea of polarity, duality, the idea of masculine, feminine, rich, poor, black, white, night, day. And we can see this as perhaps a descent. This card is representing these two, Adam and Eve, just before they make the choice, that decision to eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge, which takes them down into a fallen state. This card is depicting that point, that choice, because as we enter into duality, we enter into the need to make a decision, yes or no. So the Lover's card and Gemini also represents decisions, choices to be made, in addition to representing this multiplicity. From one, we now get the split into two. And so, as I said, we can see it as a descent down into this separateness from non-separateness. But I also believe that our Lover's card here can be seen to represent that choice of moving perhaps from duality back into unity consciousness, back towards union and oneness of everything. And so I'm going to introduce a myth, my umbrella myth, that I believe colors this Gemini story. And it comes from the two stars, the bright stars that we see within the Gemini constellation, Castor and Pollux. As a version of the myth goes, we have Queen Leda of Sparta and we have King Timnestra of Sparta. And in their marriage, they come together and through this union conceive of two children. But Zeus also wants to lie with this queen of Sparta. And so he takes the form, curiously, of a swan. And as he lies with Leda, he also conceives. They also conceive of two children. So Queen Leda of Sparta is now impregnated with 4 offspring. And so we see this Gemini idea of duality playing out over and over again. Dual parentage and then 2 pairs of offspring, this multiplication. And what we see with the 2 brothers is that one, Castor, is the mortal brother from the mortal king, and Pollux has something superhuman. He has been born from Zeus. But the 2 nevertheless become completely inseparable. And so Castor becomes an incredible horseman, perhaps demonstrating those mercurial Gemini qualities of being able to master mind over matter, man over beast. And his brother Castor is that showing that level of immortality, that sheer brute force and strength of the gods as he becomes an undefeated boxer. And the pair of them go off to war together. They fight together. They go on adventures together. They are part of the team that make up the quest for the Golden Fleece. But they also quarrel together. They quarrel with their cousins. and over some cattle. And the result of this is that Castor is mortally wounded. Pollux knows that his mortal brother is dying, and he cannot be separated. Such is the bond between them. And what he does is he goes to Zeus and he pleads that he give up his own immortality so that he not be separated from his brother. Such is the level of sacrifice that we see between this love, this brotherly love. And Zeus grants him this. He grants him a state where they take it in turns to be within Hades, the mortal world, and in Olympus. Pollux takes this position with him, so they become the stars in the sky, immortalized, the pair of them in the skies, because of Pollux's sacrifice. And so what we see here through our myth of Castor and Pollux is this idea of separation, but moving beyond this separation, this mortal separation, into something unified that lives beyond and outside of this mortality. And so this sacrifice that is made by Pollux for Castor is showing these ideals of love. We have the Lover's card here, and we see this pushing home of the idea of virtue, immortality from mortality, love, virtue, courage, sacrifice, devotion. All of these aspirations leading to a higher sense of self. And Rumi has a beautiful quote that I think helps to summarize what we've got here in this Lover's card. Out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. And this field is perhaps a state of consciousness that goes beyond ego, beyond separation. And for me, the Lover's card is calling you back there. If you're faced with a choice, always choose love. Always choose non-separation. Unity consciousness. Have a wonderful day.